The most shameless men in paternity court.
Miss McIntyre, kind of ratchet.
When you say kind of ratchet, are you indicating that she sleeps around?
I had to be to work within an hour.
You never take it upon yourself to make arrangements to sign that birth certificate?
Denying paternity to have a single life is spitefully low. Miss McIntyre and her mother hauled Mr. Wilson to court to prove that he is the father of her child. However, the alleged baby daddy opposed the claims, and they both want a DNA test to resolve this conflict. Let's move to plaintiffs.
Ms. McIntyre, you stand before me claiming that you are 100% certain that Mr. Wilson is your 3-year-old son, Jashawn's biological father. Mr. Wilson, you say you have evidence to prove that Ms. McIntyre cheated on you numerous times.
The trial commenced with a relationship recap. It turned out that Mr. Wilson catfished baby mama on Facebook, and what she saw and what she got was totally the opposite.
He shared a picture like this. I thought he was very cute. We finally wanted to meet. When he got off the bus, I seen this. He catfished me. I wanted him to go back. I did not expect this at all. From this picture to this picture, no, I did not. I'm like, what happened?
And when Judge Lauren asked about the paternity issue, he said that he's not denying the child, but baby mama is promiscuous, and she had several guys who she was dating.
Are you admitting then that this is your child?
I want to. I'm not here to say I'm denying my kid, but at the same time, too, Miss McIntyre, kind of ratchet.
When you say kind of ratchet, are you indicating she sleeps around?
Yes,
I don't believe that he's saying that.
Up next, the recap of the baby's birthday brought some drama and lame excuses from the defendant. At first, he said that Miss McIntyre didn't tell him, and then it turned out that he gave her a lame excuse for not coming like this.
Take me to the day you gave birth. Did you tell Mr. Wilson?
They called me after the fact he was conceived.
I called him when she was in labor.
And what happened?
I couldn't call him before, like,
one at a time.
I couldn't call him before my baby was breached. I picked up the phone, I told my mama to talk to him, and he said on the phone that I don't have a ride up there, I can't get up there.
Next up, the conception calendar by the defendant. Baby daddy asserted that he was going around the circle, but baby mama went ghost. She was nowhere to be found, and he didn't hear from her in months.
But since she said she was on January, we gonna fall with that. She was gone May, let's put it right there, ghost. Didn't know where to find Teresa. I'm hearing her line, not getting no texts. I've never been to one doctor's appointment, not one.
Where were you staying?
Found somebody else to not
Both is falling, Your Honor, and one is upside down.
And
That should
then-
tell you something about it.
After listening to enough arguments and testimony, Judge Lauren decided to read the DNA test results. Let's get those results and see what the envelope is hiding.
Mr. Wilson, you are his father.
Told you. So you ought to be ashamed.
Elementary school sweethearts are presiding over their case in the paternity court when Miss Rogers accused Mr. Stone, the father of her child. However, the defendant denied her claims and stated it was nothing but just a casual fling. I want to tell this young boy a fling can surely produce a baby.
Ms. Rogers, you say the defendant has gone through great lengths to deny he is the father of your son, Christian. Mr. Stone, you say Ms. Rogers is promiscuous and it was only a casual fling. You say she has even slept with some of your friends.
The trial begins on the relationship recap. It turned out they met at a party and then ended up being intimate with one another, and it was labeled as just a fling. Can anybody please tell me if the one lasts for a month or more?
I was at my friend's house, or I was at her boyfriend's house. We went back to my friend's house with her boyfriend, and we had sex that day. We left her house and went back to his house and had sex again, a couple times. And after that, it's just like, repeatedly, we would hang out, have sex.
However, the defendant told the opposite story. It was revealed that they had been intimate several times. I want to know what's the point of denying paternity of that little baby boy.
Your Honor, when we end up talking,
He could make
separated
you
from
believe
each
I
other.
was
we
not.
One at a time.
Yes, we ended up leaving from one of my friend's house, went to her friend's house. We did have sex, but we had a condom on.
No.
When we left,
Yes, the first time we went to his house, yes, we did have a condom on.
What is happening? Intimate with girlfriend and sweetheart at the same time? What's wrong with these people? Why do they do such nasty things? If Shameless had a face, it'd be this guy for sure.
We had a threesome. The night I found out that he had a girlfriend, we had a threesome.
Jerome, at first I thought he said in the freezer.
He did not tell me about until that night. He did not tell me that this girl was his girlfriend.
A series of accusations is being dragged into the court, and to stop them, Judge Lauren hopped into the pregnancy part. It turned out the defendant and plaintiff told the same story with two different perspectives like this. One alleging and the other denying.
We get to them, we drop them off at the hospital. Imagine, I did not know not one thing. We dropped them off and left. When we came back, she still haven't told me she was pregnant. And that was early, like I want to say 3-4 months in. I didn't know nothing.
Anyway, baby mama brought a conception calendar to support her claims, and her testimony asserted that no matter whatever you see, Mr. Stone would be the potential father of her baby.
This is a calendar that states that baby Christian is born on August 25th. Why are you so convinced you aren't or can't be the father when that falls right within the window of conception identified by the doctors?
Even so, he admitted that he was intimate with her during the window of conception. He continued to deny the paternity of the baby, but the plaintiff didn't let him play and provided the evidence of him admitting the baby as his baby.
I have text messages of him saying, I want, what can I get?
I'd like to see those. From Mr. Stone, what are you doing? And you say, sitting here. Mr. Stone says, oh, okay, I missed Nugget. You write, okay. And then you write back, Mr. Stone, when can I have my baby?
In spite of this drama, they didn't agree on one point, and arguments were all over. It's time to turn off this annoying drama. Let's get those results to see if baby mama got what she came for.
Mr. Stone, you are not the father.
Told you I got lying about nothing. I know what I did. I paid for extra.
It's cool.
Real drama unfolds when Miss Daniel is pointing fingers at Mr. Lennon, claiming he bamboozled her into having his baby and then vanished into thin air. But the defendant pinned all over the allegations and claimed something else. Now this is an intriguing episode.
Ms. McDaniel, you say you were tricked into having a baby by the defendant, Mr. Lennon. He ditched you and immediately denied he fathered your baby. Mr. Lennon, you say the plaintiff is nothing but a promiscuous gold digger.
The alleged baby daddy apparently had quite the plan to start a family with the plaintiff, only to disappear once he had accomplished his mission of getting her pregnant. One can only wonder what motivated such a selfless act of fatherhood.
So he was the one to plant to have me pregnant, Your Honor.
He wanted a baby.
Yes.
Tell me.
He told me that he wanted to have a child, which was biologically his, because he have two that's not his, and he's the daddy.
The defendant has a rather peculiar explanation to offer. He claimed that he and Miss McDaniel bumped into each other on site and ended up in a sexual relationship, and he was only interested in her lifestyle. But if he had no ulterior motives, then why engage in any sort of relationship in the first place?
I wanted to see what kind of person she is and see if she wanted to have a life.
He also wanted to have sex with me, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I had a 2-year-old child that passed. So for me trying to pick up with my life, I wanted to meet somebody that was kind of good.
But did you not ask
But
for
also,
sex?
However, the alleged father story is quite a spectacle. Apparently, he was tricked twice by different women into believing he was the biological father of their children. So if this is truly the case, it would be prudent for him to obtain DNA results.
I told her about my past or what happened and how I was hurt 2 times, and I'm not going through that mess again.
So you've had paternity issues.
He don't sign a birth certificate. Yes,
I did not tell you
Barbara.
that I signed a birth certificate.
You said that you got 2 kids that's not yours that you signed a birth certificate
Your Honor,
for.
I did not.
And Judge Lauren asked the witness to share more information about this paternity issue. She testified that Mr. Lennon accepted the baby at first and promised to take care of him. But now, he's not only denying paternity, but everything. Such behavior from the defendant seems to be the ultimate betrayal.
I even had a conversation with Mr. Lerner about he was going to take care of her, and the baby.
No, I did not say that. No, the only time I talked to your sister is when she was in the hospital. And then you hadn't heard of her.
But you did tell me that you were going to take care of both of them.
I did not tell you that.
Next came the conception calendar for baby mama. It was revealed that they had shared an intimate relationship in the time frame when the baby was conceived. But Daddy was persistent in his denial game. Let's hope it'll make some sense.
You spent a week with Mr. Lennon in June. In July, the doctor said you were 4 weeks and 5 days pregnant. You were at his house?
We did not have sex.
Constantly being intimate with each other.
No, we did not have sex.
Every day, you know.
The bump and go had taken a toll on the plaintiffs' lives, so Judge Lauren decided to skip the drama of the plaintiffs and cut straight to the chase by reading the DNA test results. Who needs suspense when you can just rip open an envelope and reveal the truth?
The case of McDaniel versus Lennon. When it comes to 1 month old Kimari McDaniel, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Lennon, you are not the father.
Like I told you.
The two sisters are caught up in a paternity issue because Miss Hayes claims her sister's husband as the father of her child, and she wants a DNA test as proof. Yeah, I get that these kind of allegations can literally make us want to doubt the phrase sisters before misters. But let's see if they'll end up as sisters again, or if this squabble will tear them apart.
You say that your sister, the defendant, claims to have a child with your husband of 10 years, and you are here to warn her that when he finds out her baby is not his today, she'll probably never hear from him again.
However, the younger sister holds a different opinion. According to her, Miss Hayes is just envious of her and wants her to cut off from their lives. Woman, I think she should be furious as well because of this spiteful act of yours.
You state that your sister is just jealous that you were able to have her husband's baby and she was not. You have no doubts that your sister's husband is your baby's father, and when you leave here today, you want her out of your life for good.
Yes.
Nevertheless, Miss Michelle threw some light on the background saga of this malicious relationship. She told the court that she found them in bed doing the nasty. That would have been surely mortifying.
I came home and found him and her in our bed naked. You know, I can't believe it after everything I've done for her. I knew that they were sleeping together. Why would it be any different? She slept with my first husband and my second husband. And I didn't even know about my second husband.
So you're not denying this,
No.
Miss Hayes.
However, have you ever seen someone knock out the person who saved your life and did everything best for you? Well, here you will see the even worse version of that. How could she do that to her own sister like this?
I've had custody of this girl since she was 11. You know, the choices that she made between our dad and her mom led her into drugs. I helped you get clean.
Your Honor,
I went
she
to
did.
Chicago after not hearing from her for 7 years.
But baby mama had sob storylines. In her words, the things she went through were pretty painful for her. But whatever she did to her, the sibling doesn't support her. I mean, come on, cheating on your sister with her husband isn't something that can be justified away.
When I got clean, I had been an addict and homeless for 15 years. And I did go to detox for a week. When all this came about, I didn't go to my sister and say,
She's lying to him about things that I'm doing to get me and him to argue in
at some
time
point,
together.
she says, Corey, make my sister feel like a woman.
No, wait, what? Miss Michelle asked her husband to cheat on her? But Miss Shane would have stopped this nasty thing right away, but she didn't. So why did the plaintiff brag about this matter to the court when she herself cut her hands off?
You looked your husband in the eye and gave him permission to sleep with your sister?
Yes. Why? I had been with him for 10 years.
Right.
She is probably about number 35 of the women that he'd been with.
Even though the testimony was nasty, this wasn't enough. On procession, things kept getting worse. When, FYI, Miss Hayes called strippers over to her house for her husband. Man, can't you get enough of this?
They also had an open relationship where Michelle has invited people, like on Corey's birthday, invited other women over to be a part of that.
There
like
was
that.
a stripper. It wasn't open. There was a stripper that came to the house.
Okay.
Further, the elder sisters claimed that her husband is infertile and cannot produce a child. In this all drama, the only thing that made them related is their siblings' rivalry.
When Shauna was pregnant,
She bought her everything. Me and her ex-husband, her husband, out of
It wasn't
spite.
about
Why
you,
would they
it was
buy
about
my
her.
baby?
You know,
This
your
is
own
confusing
dad
to me.
didn't
I'm like,
want you to have a
I'm
baby
pulled
shower
both ways. This
because
doesn't
he
make
was
sense. I didn't have a baby shower.
I know.
Everything I got were blessings.
However, the sisters' drama wasn't helping in the testimony, so Judge Lauren decided to hear from Mr. Hill. And this is how he testified about his doubts regarding being a father.
I had to be to work within an hour. They came down for her to sign the papers. By the time I would have already been at work.
So you never ever take it upon yourself to make arrangements to sign that birth certificate?
Ugh. How could he get caught up in so much work that he couldn't even manage to find time to sign a birth certificate? That was surely a very lame excuse, because if you desire it, you make it.
I do have some doubts because, I've been through this situation twice before. I took care of a child for 5 years. He's 15-year-old now.
The plaintiff asserted that he had never got any woman impregnated before. Then how come her sister conceived the baby by her husband? However, the flagrant statement that baby daddy gave will blow your mind.
All the years that you were together with Mr. Hill, he never got you pregnant?
No, and the other 25 women that he carried on with for long-term relationships.
No, you just jealous of us and you want to take the baby.
I don't want your baby.
Huh! Even after being married to someone else, she's not letting them have their life. Woman, move on. Use your mind. I mean, who justifies bad decisions like this?
So now you're married to someone else.
Divorce him. No, just because. That's great. That's an upstanding deal.
You're married to somebody else, but you haven't divorced him?
Right.
That doesn't
Seems
sound
like everybody's
legal.
up to something, huh?
Okay.
Some words of advice and encouragement needed to be articulated for them, and Judge Lauren honored it. I hope they get these words in their minds for the sake of a little baby girl.
I looked at a beautiful little girl on this screen, and all I can think is she deserves more than this.
She deserves family.
This court is concerned with the best interests of this child.
Their to and fro statements and allegations were all over, and it was getting nowhere. So let's get those results for the baby and see if it will settle the dispute between them or not.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Hill, you are her father.